Hoteliers spend millions curating a flawless digital image. But right before they book, your most valuable luxury guests do something counterintuitive. They actively bypass the five-star praise, scroll straight to the bottom, and hunt for your worst possible reviews. Subscribe to the Hoteliers IQ channel for more powerful, actionable hospitality insights. Operations teams sweat over every minor blemish on their public record. The goal is always a spotless, unblemished wall of praise. Yet the modern luxury traveler views a perfectly curated, zero-defect page with intense suspicion. If a property looks too polished, they assume it is entirely manufactured. An absolute lack of negative feedback does not generate immediate trust. It actually creates friction. The guest wonders what is being hidden behind the facade. When that inevitable one-star review finally lands, the reaction in the back office is usually panic. Management treats it as an existential threat, a permanent stain that will instantly kill conversion rates and drive revenue to the competition. This panic triggers a cascade of defensive behaviors. General managers engage in petty online arguments with the guest. Marketing teams attempt to pay reputation platforms to bury the feedback. Or worse, the property simply ignores the complaint entirely out of shame. These defensive postures accomplish the exact opposite of their intent. By arguing or hiding, the hotel validates the guest's complaint in front of a live audience. A minor operational hiccup, a cold meal, or a delayed check-in cements itself as permanent brand damage. This reaction misreads the market. The hotelier is frantically trying to hide a failure, completely unaware that the prospective guest is looking specifically to see how they handle one. Consumers have been trained by a decade of digital commerce to tune out extreme praise. A wall of flawless five-star reviews reads as generic at best, and at worst, explicitly bought by management. This chart plots guest trust against aggregate review scores. Notice the sharp decline on the far right. Trust plummets at a flawless 5.0. Instead, it peaks right around a 4.7. This is the authenticity threshold, where buyers actually believe the data because they see realistic human friction. Those few imperfections are not liabilities. They act as a highly valuable stress test for your management systems. When prospective buyers click on a one-star complaint, they aren't dwelling on the previous guest's anger. They are secretly evaluating your capability to resolve conflict. High net worth guests understand that logistics occasionally fail. They do not demand a flawless stay. They demand a predictable safety net for when reality inevitably disrupts their itinerary. Consider a high-paying guest who leaves a scathing public review. It is their anniversary, and a severe service breakdown completely ruined their dinner at a flagship resort. The standard management response is instantly recognizable. It relies on cold, robotic, policy-driven language. It subtly shifts the blame back onto the guest for not notifying staff sooner, effectively washing the hotel's hands of the incident. Now look at the elite operational response on the right. It is empathetic and highly accountable. The manager clearly outlines the exact internal system gap that caused the failure and details the specific steps taken to ensure it never happens again. Here is the core strategic shift. That elite response was never written to pacify the angry guest who left the review. It is a highly calculated broadcast meant for the thousands of future guests who will read it. The negative review is merely the stage. Your management's public behavior on that stage is the actual product being evaluated by the market. Elite hoteliers stop viewing the one-star review section as a graveyard of lost bookings. Instead, they treat it as premium marketing real estate. We can see the resulting digital trust asymmetry on this graph. A generic five-star review carries very low weight because the consumer already expected a good experience. But a professionally handled one-star review carries massive weight because it actively proves your vulnerability and your competence. A highly accountable response acts as a public insurance policy. It guarantees future buyers that their financial investment is safe, even if your daily operations temporarily fail. When a potential guest sees a failure transformed into a solution,
they stop worrying about what might go wrong and start focusing on the resilience of your service. The quality, tone, and speed of your digital response proves your reliability more effectively than your aggregate star rating ever could. True hospitality is never proven when everything goes perfectly. It is exclusively proven by how leadership acts when things fall apart. Subscribe to the Hoteliers IQ channel for smarter hospitality insights. Like this video if it challenged your perspective, and share it with industry professionals who need a strategic reset. In a landscape obsessed with an illusion of perfection, mastering the recovery of a failure is what separates a truly resilient brand from one that simply looks the part.